Alright, time for a video. I'm just going to wing it. I've been napping today, but I need to take a little break and use the Notch-O-Matic. Alright, now the first couple Notch-O-Matics that I got, I end up giving them away. I got them for free as a support for the channel, right? And in return, I would just demonstrate these. They're pretty cool. They can eliminate step fractures, and they can also notch. So what I'm going to do is quickly demonstrate. I ended up buying 2 more. Okay, you can get them from Ted. I'll put the link down in the description box. All right. So what I'm going to do is figure out where my glove is first. Let's see. I'm going to prepare this little broken tip for the notching so I can demonstrate. Okay. Yeah, I didn't demonstrate it well enough or hardly at all when I got them. So now I got to do it. I got to do it. That was the deal. Okay. And I don't mind doing it at all. They're pretty neat. I rarely promote stuff, but when I do, it's because I like them. They're cheater tools. Okay, so you're going to feel like you're cheating. But during the nap-in, I found out that it could be a great help to some people. Some people, you know, they're already used to the notching. They don't need anything special. But some people are struggling and pulling their hair out. And this Notch-O-Matic stuff can help them out. Oh, yes. So I'm just going to take the square edge off of this tip that's snapped. My friend did this. Excuse me while I have a senior moment. My friend Ray napped this, and he gave me the broke tip. Okay, because yeah, I'll take the brokes. Yeah, giving away the brokes, I'll take them when I'm at a nap-in or when I go visit. I was able to go hunting also, and we saw some deer. I did take a shot with an arrow, but it was high. It went too high. I was a little nervous taking this shot because I haven't practiced at all. Well, I can't say that. I did take a few shots at my friend's house, my friend Henry's house, before actually going out to the ranch. I did shoot my bow with a couple of arrows made by, or a combination. Arrows, the tips were made by my friend Roberto, and then I think the shafts and arrows, the arrow heads and the shafts were made by Roberto, and then fletching by Henry. Anyway, I still got those arrows, but I don't want to mess them up, so I'm going to make my own. I just haven't had a chance to. Then I got to practice. We're going to be hunting. We were hunting out of blinds, and the deer are only 20 yards away at the most. Sometimes they wander in even closer to the blind. Anyway, let's see what we can get. And I'll be hunting this winter, so I might be able to get something on video, maybe. Okay, so this is what we do. If there's a step fracture, this can help eliminate those as long as the angle is not too drastic that way. It's got to be kind of upward so these don't dive. Okay, so all you do is you put this on there like a regular cheater tool, like my other one. This is what I normally use. It's just a spike nail, and I've been hitting the back end of this, but the Notch-O-Matic has a spring, and you just pull, and this little striker in here does the work. Okay, let's see. You don't need much effort. It's just a little tap until it comes off. Hold on. I don't want to strike too hard because then I gotta get another piece if it dives. It's working a little bit. Yeah. Let's try the other direction. Little by little. You can get more adventurous. I pulled it back a little bit more. You can get pretty accurate and pretty well used to how much you need to pull back. Okay, so that was probably it. I don't know if I can get this one off. Maybe. It's a little bit dicey because this one is going to be a longer flake. When it's longer, it tends to do stuff on its own. This was just a little spot, but this is a bigger area, so it may, yeah, it may dive in. I'll just quit while I'm ahead. Anyway, we'll use this in a minute on the notching. Okay, and I may have to thin down this tip with a file because it looks a little bit too wide. Right now it's perfect for the step fracture elimination because it's flat. You want it to be flat, you know, file down flat or whatever. But for notching, I'm going to make it a little bit thinner or more narrow. So I'm going to thin down this whole piece first. So you're going to have to wait a few minutes for the notching part. And listen to me yap while I'm doing this. So yeah, I'm able to hunt white-tailed deer this year. Yes, yes, yes. And who knows, there's aoudad sheep in the area. And those are invasive, so I can shoot them anytime I want. That'll be awesome. But I gotta do some practice. Now, question is, am I gonna get any of this on video? That's the question that everyone's gonna ask. Are you gonna video the practice? Are you gonna video the hunting? Personally, I don't like watching hunting videos, especially when they make a big deal out of it. It's pretty straightforward, you know. You shoot the deer. If it runs, you gotta go look for it, and then you bring it back and butcher it and take whatever you need, the meat and the hides and everything. I consider that a private matter and not something to advertise, not something to exploit. You know, the death of an animal is not something that I would like to exploit. It's in terms of having it on video so I can make money. You know what I mean? I do think about that. It just feels, it doesn't feel, how should I say? For me, it doesn't feel like something I should do. That's all. Other guys want to do it. I, I don't oppose it at all, but for me, I might get some of that on video, but what I'll probably do on video is the removal of sinew and maybe removal of the hide, but I would rather get into the processing of the different parts. Processing of bones, processing of antler, processing of the meat, processing of the sinew, that kind of thing. I'd rather do the processing on video than anything else. So that's probably what I'll do. And I'll try to do it out in the field with stone tools. The weather is going to be cool enough that I don't have to worry about, ooh, is it going to take too long to do it? Since I don't have all that much practice. Because if it takes too long, the meat might become contaminated with bacteria, that kind of thing. So I got to be careful with that part. We shall see. Well, that's not good. You might say, well, just don't monetize the videos that you're hunting. Don't monetize. Just do it. Do it and don't monetize. Yeah, I might do that. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. This is still in process. I'm still in the process of getting everything worked out. I can definitely hunt and videotape if I wanted to. So that's not the working out. You know, that's not the part that I have to iron out. That one's already set. The part I got to figure out is what I want to get on video. Yeah. Okay. There's a little booger right there. I gotta try to get that out. This is raw root beer looking type chirp, but it's just Texas chirp. It's not really the root beer kind because it's not dark enough. Did it get it? Still a little bit there as far as defect. It's a little bit of a defect there, or that's a hinge. It's not really a step fracture because it popped out. Step fractures are incomplete as far as the release. Incomplete release at the termination. That's a step fracture. Like that. See, that's an incomplete release. It just stops. Like this one right here. It cracks and breaks off, and there's an incomplete detachment. A hinge is when it completely detaches and it leaves a little scoop out. That's the difference between a step and a hinge. A hinge is like a scoop out at the termination. A step is a broken flake at the termination. Okay. See, that's a step fracture. That's a broken flake. Pretty much either one, steps or hinges, they don't look that great on these pieces. Yeah. I don't need to get it much thinner than that to demonstrate. Nope. It's good enough. All right. Okay, so we'll pressure flake it to regularize it, and then we can start with the notching. The cheater notching. You know, I'm thinking also, I don't know if YouTube actually allows you to monetize the hunting anyways. Right, because it'll give you a warning. Where it used to give you a warning in sensitive material, if you actually show the hunting part. I don't know what the rules are right now. Come on. So yeah, I'm going to be practicing shooting at 20 yards, and I need to make my arrows. I think I can get my arrow construction process on video. I'm pretty sure that I'll have time to do that, because when I put it on video, it takes me twice as long to do something, at least. Because to do the errand of getting the arrows on video, I gotta do 100 things before I can do that one thing. Because people are gonna ask me, can you do that with stone tools? You don't have to. You have to use a steel knife. This is a Flintknapping channel. Flintknap a tool. Flintknap the tool and use the tool to make the arrow. Yeah. I guess I shouldn't make fun of that, but I can do it. I can do it. It just takes me 100 tasks before I can do that one thing where I can make an arrow with stone tools on video. I gotta do 100 different things before I can do that. What are those things? Well, I gotta make a couple off camera with stone tools just so I can smoothly do it on camera. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. That way it doesn't take me forever. And yeah, I can use sinew and natural glues. Natural sinew, not artificial. I don't like using artificial sinew at all for anything. That's just me. I don't care if other people use it. I just don't like using artificial sinew. If I'm going to use something artificial or close to artificial, it'll be like the hemp cordage. That's natural, but it's wound up by a machine. It's dyed in a mechanical industrial process. It's, you know, it's industrialized. But that's the extent of what I use that it's modern. That hemp cordage. I'll use that. I like using that hemp cordage. I've also used jute twine and stuff. But anyway, on my bow, I am using fast flight. So that's a cheater type of material. But it makes the bow very fast. And I've got string silencers on the string, which makes it very quiet. The loudest noise that I heard when I shot that arrow that last time was the arrow hitting the wood of my self bow. A self bow is just a bow made of one piece of wood. I didn't have the handle wrapped. Now, a lot of times I do wrap the handle with leather so that the arrow doesn't make a noise. I just didn't have it wrapped this time. Okay? So I can probably wrap the handle. The reason why it's important to have a quiet release is so the deer doesn't duck when you shoot. Because if it's too loud, if it's too startling, the deer will duck and the arrow will hit too high. So you want it quiet so you don't get that initial pop or whatever it is that startles the deer. But 20 yards is pretty darn close. So even if the deer does duck down, with a fast bow that shoots a fast arrow, you don't have to worry too much. But there's always a possibility. So the more quiet you can be, the better. So yeah, I'll wrap the handle with leather. You'll see. You'll see the whole thing. I can get the target practice on video. You'll see the whole thing as far as my setup and my equipment. I gotta make a target. And some people are waiting for that too. What do you use for target for stone? I need a target for stone, so it doesn't snap, so I don't have snapiola pudding on the end of my arrow. Yeah. I'm working on it. Usually I don't shoot stone when practicing. I shoot something other than stone, like I'll make a little steel broadhead. The thing is, I found out that aluminum is very close in weight to stone, so I can make an aluminum broadhead, shoot that, practice with aluminum broadheads, and it's very close to the weight of the stone. I can either remove the aluminum and put a stone one on there, or just have a special arrow or two with aluminum broadheads, like 3 arrows with aluminum broadheads just for practice, and have some matching stone arrowheads for the real deal, for the hunting. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. That way the size is the same. If there's any chance of wind resistance, the wind resistance will be the same. Everything will be the same. I can make the aluminum arrowheads the same size as my stone ones, and everything will be the same. But that didn't work out well. Dang it. I don't like having the step fractures and junk on the surface. Hold on. It's still early, right? I'm still getting texts while I'm shooting the video. I need to put it on airplane mode. I need to remember. The reason why I mention it is because the text goes across here and sometimes it distracts me and messes me up. And then I'll mess up the arrowhead. Yeah. Oh, gosh. It's my excuse. Any excuse is a good excuse. Okay, looks like it'll thin down well. Hold on. Did it do it? Oh. Voila. Look at that. I got the back side of that, and then hopefully this will pop out. Hopefully. Come on. I'll get it later. But I got rid of that. Now it's time to get rid of this. I got rid of some of the back side of that. Let's see. The other side's okay. So this is it for repairs. Damage control. Let's see. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Yeah. I got a bunch more artifacts to show on video. I gotta finish those hunting points, or they're not going to be for hunting. They're going to be for display, but they're going to be the foreign ancient points. I got a bunch of preforms made up. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I might not have mentioned it exactly like that on video, but I had made a bunch of preforms out of hornstone. Right? I got to finish those up. Oh, this is too thick down here for the Notch-O-Matic. Even for the Notch-O-Matic, this is too thick. All right, so I cleaned up the surface. Now I got to make sure this is thin enough for the Notch-O-Matic. So hold on. Still not doing the notches. Let me thin it down a little bit more. Although the Notch-O-Matic can probably handle it. Yes, yes, yes. Youch. That was not good. Supposed to flake every time. Yeah. Supposed to be perfect every time. It's supposed to be. So what about the randomness of it? Supposed to be perfect every time, yes. Right? That's what you hope. It's funny, we hope for perfection when we're hitting on a surface that's not perfect. We expect perfection with conditions that are not perfect. Yeah. That's called being dumb. That's called being estúpido. Estúpido. Okay. So you do the little cheating and try to pop those out. Come on. It's difficult with raw stone. To pop those out sometimes. Alright, let's see if we can get it from the side here. Not like that. That didn't go anywhere. Okay, maybe I can't see. Maybe I can't see what I'm doing. That better? The lighting is not so great. Here we go. Not like that. Hold on. See if it did it. Yes. Beautiful. Look at how far that went. You see the metal marks? Those, I didn't even have to do those. I could have went psh and did it with the side strike. Yeah. But Flintknapping is not about hindsight. Because you never know. I might have been able to pop those out with the cheater tool. It just worked out that it didn't. It didn't pop them out. So I had to do something else. But you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes it cooperates. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get lucky. All that. Okay. Come on, it can go thinner. Yeah. You might say, well, I can't thin it, so I can't use the Notch-O-Matic. Yeah, you can still use it. Don't worry. Even if it's super thick, okay? Just try it anyway. If you get one. If you don't get one, don't worry. If you make one, you make one. If you make one and don't use it, don't worry. don't have to do it that way. You don't have to use a cheater tool. You do it the old-fashioned way. Struggle and sweat and anxiety. Yeah. All right, are we there yet? Did we get to the spot where we want to be? We're never exactly where we want to be, but close. We're close. Oh, dang. Come on. Okay. So here we go. Let's try it on this raw stone. I'm going to do the initial notching first with pressure, and then we'll go with the cheater tool. Where is the... Okay. There it is. See, I just used this a second ago, or a little while ago, and I already almost lost it. Yeah, I'm going to start with the pressure tool. Because with experience, the Notch-O-Matic, or no, I'm confusing it with the reverse indirect. The reverse indirect will blow away at the beginning of the notch. I'm thinking the Notch-O-Matic is going to do the same thing. It might not actually. But anyway, I'm going to start it with just regular hand pressure. Okay? Okay. Good idea? Yeah, I know. I know it's a good idea. Because I thought of it. Yeah. Still not a good idea. I'm still blowing away too much of the side. Okay, I got you started. I'm going to notch a little bit toward the blade. I'm going to do it a little bit dangerously. Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit dangerously. Alright, so we just got a regular notch. Oh yeah, I was going to sharpen this. Okay. Not sharpen it, but make it more narrow. It's not going to be sharp, because then it'll notch. It'll dimple too much if I sharpen it too much. Oh, come on. Filing my finger. I know, one direction, yes I know, but this is a Flintknapping channel, not a shop channel where you learn about shop techniques. Okay? Okay. People, guys my age, they took shop in school. Yeah, I had shop. I had wood shop and metal shop and drafting shop. All that stuff when I was in junior high and high school. Now, when I got to high school, I had too many college prep course classes, so I didn't do too much shop in high school. Much to my regret. Should have done it. Can you see? You can't see, can you? All you're seeing is a result. Let's see. I'm not even prepping this. I need to zoom out somehow. Can't zoom out unless I raise the camera. Yeah, let's raise the camera closer to my face so that I'm breathing right into the microphone. Yeah. Can you see it now? I'm breathing straight into the microphone because I had to look over the camera. I'll try not to breathe too hard. Okay. See, but you can't see where I'm setting it, so I have to zoom out so you can see what I do over here on this side. Hold on. See this? I pull it up and then a little bit. Let it go. It's got to be in contact with the stone. Okay, nothing happened yet. Okay, so hold on. This has got to be in contact with the stone. I had one guy using it up above the stone and then try to do this. No, it's got to be in contact with the stone. Solid contact, and then you do the pop out. Yes, the magic pop out. And then you eliminate the sharp edge, turn it over, and do another pop out if you can. All right? Sometimes it ruins the whole thing, but that's just the nature of cheater tools. Sometimes they got too much power to them. All right, center this. All right, I set it just on the edge there, and then what is the angle? What is this angle? Whatever works, that's the angle. Okay? Don't bug me. Oh, yes. I don't know what angle this is. Let's just say it's 70 degrees and I'll be wrong. Okay? That solves that problem. 70 degrees when it's actually, I don't know, 58.6. I don't know. Whatever works. Whatever works and doesn't break it. And I'm barely pulling back on this thing. Which means this has got some serious potential to notch some really tough stuff. I'm just barely pulling back on this. I don't know if you can see. It's like maybe a half-inch travel there. Maybe. Solid contact. Maybe it's a 3/4 inch that I'm pulling back. Oh, starting to stall. See, when you get that, starting to stall. But it saves your hands. If I was doing this manually, I'd already be sore. So this is raw stone. This is tough stone. This is not like obsidian, where it's so easy to notch it that you don't need no Notch-O-Matic. That's really doing a number on that thick area. See that? It's still thick right there, but it did something. Now, whether that looks good or not, it's up to you. To me, it looks a little bit drastic, but it's doing it. That's what matters. It's doing it. Yeah. Can you tell I'm having fun with this thing? Yes. Oops. Come on. It slipped this way. I went, oops. Hold on. I can't be slipping. That's one reason why I don't use vertical punches, is because I can't see what I'm doing. And it slips around. It does all kinds of stupid stuff. But this makes it easier because there's very little effort. Yeah, I don't know if I should continue. So if I try to pop it out one more time, that's not going to be... Might not be pretty. We'll try it anyway, okay? Try it anyway, even though it might not be pretty. Ooh, that didn't work. Did it do something? I tried to do something. My angle's too high. See, you gotta watch. See how it'll hit the pad with this lower area. So I gotta put this kind of on the edge of the pad so that that lower part doesn't touch the pad. That's why sometimes it's not doing anything. Ooh, it did something. It's kind of scary what it did. See that? It's incomplete fracture. Okay. I'm going to try it anyway. It popped out a big old pop out. Wow, look at that. I bet you can't see anything, as I bet you it's totally blurry. Right? Okay, so in that case, I'm assuming that you can't see anything, so I'm going to zoom in. You already know now what it looks like when I pull back on the striker. Right? Right. I think that's as deep as I want to go on that one. Yeah. You want me to go further, but I'm not going to go further. Yeah. Come on. There it goes. See, this was hitting the pad. This is the lower area. So I guess if I made it more narrow or more pointy, it wouldn't have that pad problem. But that's a nice pop out. And you get rid of the sharp edge a little bit. Not too much, because it'll stall. If you do that too much, it'll stall. So it's got to be a little bit fragile on the edge. Yeah, you can do this with this kind of cheater tool vertical punch too. With just hitting on the back, you can do the same thing. But I didn't like using those because it's hard to see. But this makes it so much easier that even if I can't see, it's still fun to use. All right? Okay. There we go. Just a little pop out that time. But it's still good. Still worked. Alrighty. Now, is there a way to make a cheater tool like this out of antler? I don't know if there's a spring. Some of you guys, some of you MacGyver type guys, maybe you can come up with some sort of device that does this with natural tools. That'd be something. Instead of just a regular vertical punch, like everyone else is using. Try to make something mechanical with natural tools. I don't know. Natural materials, I mean. It's possible, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to make this more narrow next time. I'm having to raise the angle on this so that this lower part doesn't touch the pad. It might be better to have a lower angle of attack, but since I'm touching the pad a lot, I could do it on my leg, but then maybe it'll put too much pressure on the barb and snap it off. I don't know. Let's try this. Oh yes, okay. I didn't even feel it. If I was using a vertical punch, I think I would have felt that. I didn't even feel it. Voila. Amazing. Gosh, it's so scary though. Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. I'm only pulling it back maybe a quarter inch. You can't see. Yeah, I'm only pulling it back a quarter to a half inch at the most. Yeah. and it'll drive as long as it's thin enough, I suppose. There it goes. That's it. I'm done. I don't want to take a chance on the other side, although I could probably keep going. Yeah, I can probably keep going, but that's it. I'm not going to risk it. I'd rather have something finished than try to go too far. Yeah. All right, so it's time to sharpen and then be done. Probably should have done that first, especially down on this end. I don't want to snap the barbs off. So just do a little bit of sharpening. Just light pressure with a semi-sharp tip. Hold on. Come on. Can you see? I'm just pushing on the dull spots and the spots that require flakes to be removed because they're dull. I should say the high spots and then the dull spots. Anywhere where I can seat the pressure flaker. Yeah, this flakes well. This raw stone, I'm lucky because this flakes well. Some raw stone is so difficult to flake that it makes it so you have to push way too hard and then it'll snap. This rock is good. I get it. Oh, I know why I'm having trouble. Because the camera's still right up next to my face. I raised the camera, but I didn't lower it back down. That's what's the problem. I'm having trouble seeing. There we go. But yeah, I'll just make do. I'll just make do with what I got. Instead of adjusting the camera. It takes only less than 5 seconds, but I don't want to. Come on. There's a flat spot right there. I can see the dull. Right? Or is that not dull? There's dull spots on there. I grounded down earlier. I know there is. Come on. There it is. It's starting to get sharper. I don't want it too jaggedy. I put it at this angle so I can see the flakes when they come off. So I don't get these little nasty step fractures. Or if I do, I know where to concentrate the next attempt Or I know where to concentrate the force for the next attempt. Or where to place the flaker to get that to pop out of there. How can I tell where the dull spots are? The dull spot is it's just where it works to seat the tool. You know, if you don't know how to recognize the dull spots, just with practice or with a lot of time, you can figure out where the tool will seat. If the tool will seat on it without crushing, that's a dull spot. You probably have to crush a lot of the edge first before you get used to seeing where the spot is where you can rest the tool. Now, if you got a sharp edge already, there's not going to be the places to rest the tool. So that's where you grind it. These are just thick spots on that edge. All right. I don't want it too jaggedy, so I'm going back and regularizing it. It'd probably be better to leave it too jagged because it's very sharp. Anyway, there you go. I like it just like that. There's a little bit of dull areas, those little white powdery areas. Some of it crushed a little bit. The tip is not perfect, but that's good enough. And I could go a little bit further with the notching, but good enough. Dimensions. What are the dimensions? All right, 1 3/4 wide, 2 3/8, and the notch depth is 3/8, a little bit more. Yeah, on that side, a little bit more than 3/8. And the width, it's a little bit more than a 1/16. Yeah, not quite 3/32, except the opening. So you can get pretty narrow and fairly deep. This will work for like 99% of points, except for the andice and some of the bell points and some of the harden and E-notch types and stuff like that. Some of those have deeper notches than this. I'm sure there are others. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do on that. Let's try on its foreshaft. Let's see. For those of you who do not know, I made up a bunch of foreshafts, and I didn't do it for nothing. Yeah. I did it so I can show what it looks best on, in our humble opinion. Okay, it'll work with that. The normal, this is the regular ladle dart foreshaft. That's probably the average size and average depth of notch and average diameter. It works on this. In fact, it's perfect. Yep. What's the diameter? I don't even know. What is it? 1/2 inch? It's a little more than a 1/2 inch. Yeah, but it's about 1/2 inch. How many millimeters? 14. Yeah, that's a good average size for a little dart foreshaft. Length varies, but the diameter, what did I say, 14 millimeter? Half inch? That's average. Now, does it fit like on a knife handle? This is my little knife handle. Yeah. Almost perfect. The notches are still, they're wide enough I can get sinew in there. That's still really good because the glue will fill the gaps, so it can still be used like a mounted as a knife on this handle. There's another type of knife handle with the expanding sides, but this is for a big blade. I gotta make a smaller one. This is for a big blade too, but you get the idea. If you widen the handle out, you won't cut yourself on these barbs. Okay, and it'll be like something like that. But I gotta make some smaller ones than this. All right. So there you go. 1 hour. Is it an hour yet? It's not an hour yet, but we're gonna cut it right here. All right. I just need a thumbnail. And some people say this is blue, and some people say it's green. I say it's green, but some people say it's blue. Wait a second. I got something that's blue. This is blue. This is green. Blue, green. Right? Right. It looks blue again? Oh well. It's green. How do I know it's green? Because that's blue. Okay. Just so there's no confusion. I know some wise guys were saying, that's not green. Colorblind person. All right. There you go. That's it.